everyone, especially those who are not from STEM backgrounds, okay? Pero madali lang to, okay? So with that, no, let's start, okay? So last time, we were able to cover the different types of chemical reaction. So in your high school, you are all familiar with synthesis, decomposition, single displacement, and double displacement reaction. And last time, we added some additional types of chemical reaction, such as precipitation reaction and acid-base reaction. So what we know about precipitation reaction is that they form precipitates, okay? And then for acid-base reaction, they form water as the product, okay? So in precipitates, they are solid, and sa acid-base, yung water is the liquid form, okay? And sometimes its salts could be precipitates as well, okay? So now, let's talk about the last type of reaction, oxidation reduction reaction. To be honest, this is a very long topic. That's why we will have to cover it again in analytical chemistry. But for now, just for the sake of basics, no, yung mga madadaling ano lang niya, concepts. So, i-cover natin yung easy ones, okay? So, what is oxidation reduction reaction? So, in an essence, no, so oxidation reduction reaction is the reaction that involves transfer of electrons, okay? Compared to other chemical reactions wherein yung cation and yung anion nagpapalit, for this one, the electrons are being transferred, okay, from one species to another. So, oxidation reduction reaction is a tandem of two reaction, okay? So, meron kang oxidation reaction and a reduction reaction. And again, sabi ko, tandem yan. Okay, why? Because the oxidation reaction, this is the reaction wherein your substance loses electron. Okay? So, this is the reaction in which your substance loses electron. Sa tingin nyo, where will that electron will go? Okay? So, that electron will go to the other reaction, the reduction reaction, wherein this will gain the electron lost by the oxidized species. Okay? So, ganun lang concept niya. Si oxidation, maglalabas siyang electron. Si reduction, tatanggap siyang electron. Okay? So, that's why we call it redox. Okay? Reduction, oxidation. Okay? Kasi tandem sila. It is not possible for you to have both reduction or both oxidation. Instead, it is just a combination of two opposing reactions, no? So, partner talaga sila, okay? And then, for you to memorize which one loses electron, which one gains electrons, we have the mnemonic called the oil rig, okay? So, oil rig, ano meaning yan? Oxidation is losing and reduction is gaining. Losing what? Electron. Gaining what? Electron as well, okay? So, yan. So, that's our mnemonic. Oxidation is losing electron. Reduction is gaining electron. Okay? So, para hindi kayo malito, sino yung nawawala ng electron? Sino yung tumatanggap ng electron? Oil rig. Okay? So, now, ano naman kung ang atom natin mag-lose siya ng electron? So, what's the essence of the atom losing electron? Okay, remember that your electron is negatively charged. No? And in our chapter 3, we knew that when an atom loses electron, what happens to it? It becomes positively charged, di ba? Example natin doon last time, si sodium, di ba? So if sodium loses electron, it becomes stable and at the same time, it becomes a cation. Okay? By losing electron, meaning yung charge niya tumataas. What if naman mag-gain yan ng electron? For example, last time yung oxygen, naging oxide ion. So, ano nangyari? So, when it accepts electron, basically, its neutrality turns into negativity, di ba? So, from zero charge na oxygen atom, when it accepted two electrons, it becomes negatively charged. Okay? So, to be exact, that's negative 2 charge. So, ganun din dito, no? But instead of using the word charge, no, we have to use a specific term called the oxidation number. Okay? So if your element is oxidized, meaning it underwent oxidation reaction, its oxidation number will increase, okay? So from 0, it will be positive, okay? So an increase in the oxidation number makes means that your species underwent oxidation reaction, okay? So yan. So when your oxidation increases, ibig sabihin nagiging mas positive siya. And we know that the charge becomes more positive if we get electron from the atom. Okay? Meaning it loses electron. Okay? So oxidation, when it increases, no, ayan, means na nag-oxidation reaction siya. While, sabi ko sa inyo, yung charge, no, tawag natin sa kanya oxidation number. Okay? So when the charge or the oxidation number decreases, ibig sabihin, it becomes reduced. Okay? Or reduction reaction. Okay? So ganun lang yung idea dito. Ang oxidation number is the charge, okay? Why do we need to use this term? Kasi electrochem to. So, redox reaction to. Kaya iba yung terms na gagamitin natin. Okay? So, ganun. So, again, when an atom loses electron, it becomes highly charged, meaning the oxidation number increases. Okay? And when it gains electrons are negative, so ibig sabihin, its charge becomes lower or the oxidation number decreases. Okay? So, ganun lang yung tandaan niya. Okay? Kung sino na oxidize, siya yung nagtanggal ng electron. Therefore, ibig sabihin, mas magiging positive siya. Kung sino yung na-reduce, siya yung nag-gain ng electron. Therefore, mas magiging negative siya. Okay? From positive, magiging 0 to negative. Okay? So, ganun yung mga nangyayari. Okay? So, ito yung question ngayon. Okay? How will we know the oxidation number of atoms? Okay? Kasi one way of telling if this is a redox reaction is for you to know what is the oxidation number of your atom. Okay? So, we have several rules in the next slides. Okay? We need to remember this, no? Para malaman natin yung oxidation numbers. Okay? So, again, this might be new to you, pero I hope na this will be clear by the end of this session, okay? So, ito yung mga rules para malaman natin ano yung oxidation number ng ating elements, okay? Because we cannot tell agad eh. For example, uh, permanganate ion, can you tell the charge of Mn and O? Hindi agad, okay? So, hindi mo agad masasabi. So, that's why we have to cover the rules first, okay? So, let's try to discuss the rules, okay? So, first rule, ito. Sabi dito, when your substance is in the elemental state, okay? Or elementary substance siya, ibig sabihin, the oxidation number of the element is 0, okay? So, ano ba meaning when your substance is in the elemental state, okay? So you will know that your substance is in the elemental state if it doesn't have any charge and its formula consists of one element only. One element only in the formula. Okay? So dyan mo malalaman whether that's elemental state or not. Okay? For example, how about this one? Is this an elemental state? Yes. Okay. Why? Wala siyang charge. And paano mo malalaman yung charge pala? Andito yun sa exponent, di ba? Ay, positive 3. Diba? Nasa exponent yung charge parate. Pag wala nakalagay sa exponent, ibig sabihin wala siyang charge. Okay? So, wala siyang charge and as you can see, the formula is isang element lang nandyan. Okay? Regardless kung gaano siya karami. Okay? Isa man yan, dalawa man yan. Okay? Basta wala siyang charge at isang element yan, elemental state yan. O2, this is an elemental state kasi sabi ko nga, walang charge. Okay? Wala siyang exponent. Wala siya dyan. Okay? And then, iisang element lang yun nasa formula regardless of the number of that element. Okay? Pwede siyang O2, pwede siyang O3, basta oxygen lang yun nandyan. That is an elemental state. This one as well is an elemental state, hydrogen gas, no? Okay? Dalawa yung hydrogen atom, but the idea is that is just one element and it doesn't have any charge. So therefore, it is an elemental state. Okay? So ganun lang. So that's how you tell whether a substance is an elemental state or not. Iisa lang yung atom, iisa lang yung element and it doesn't have any charge. Okay? So what's the oxidation number of the element if it is in elemental state? It is 0. Okay? Ibig sabihin, the oxidation number of iron is 0. Oxidation number of oxygen is 0. Oxidation number of hydrogen is 0. And oxidation number of aluminum, this is an elemental state again, so this is 0 as well. Okay? So, ganun lang. Okay? So, yan na yung rule number 1. Okay? Let's proceed with the next slide. Ayan. So, for rule number 2, rule number 2 is about the monoatomic ions. Okay? So, for monatomic ions, ibig sabihin, isa lang yung atom and then may charge siya. So, obviously, whatever the charge of the monoatomic ion is, that's the oxidation number na agad. Okay? For example, we have the oxide ion, O negative 2. So, this is just one atom. So, ibig sabihin, it is a monoatomic ion and it's negative 2 in charge. So, ibig sabihin, yung negative 2 na yun na yung oxidation number niya. Okay? Chloride ion, Cl minus. Monoatomic yan, and its charge is negative 1. So, ibig sabihin, its oxidation number is also negative 1. Okay? For Fe3+, what's the oxidation number? It's positive 3. Okay? Because this is a monoatomic ion. Okay? So, again, for rule number 2, it just pertains to monoatomic ions. Whatever the charge of your monoatomic ion, yun na yung kanyang oxidation number. Okay. Next one, we have rule number 3. So according to rule number 3, some groups in the periodic table have specific oxidation number. Okay. So for group 1 elements, they are always positive 1. Okay. For group 2, they are always positive 2. While for group 7, although by default they are negative 1, especially fluorine, other group 7 elements may not follow this. Okay? That's why, as you can see, we indicated especially fluorine no, sa sentence. Bakit? Kasi si fluorine, siya yung masunurin sa lahat ng element when it comes to periodic trends, when it comes to electron affinity, electronegativity, so on and so forth. So si fluorine, masunurin yan sa ganyan. Okay? But other elements in the group 7 doesn't follow that masyado. For example, when your chlorine, bromine, and iodine, when they form oxyanions, they will not follow this anymore. Okay? So, ganun lang. Okay? So, when you say, chlorine, bromine, iodine forming oxyanions, then they don't follow this rule anymore. Okay? But if they are in monoatomic state, then they will follow it. Okay? Unless siya ay oxyanion. Okay? So, what's oxyanion again? Yan yung element with oxygens as an anion. Okay? So, for example, chlorate. We have the bromate. We have the iodate. Okay? So, yan yung mga oxyanion when they are paired with oxygen. Okay? So, if your halogens look like this, it doesn't follow this rule. Okay? Only if it is bonded with other elements. Okay? Such as, kunwari, hydrogen. Okay? So, ganun. So, ganun lang guys ha. Chlorine, bromine, iodine will not follow this if they are in the oxyanion form. Okay? Oxyanion, may oxygen. Okay? Pero by default, negative 1 sila. Next rule. Rule number 4. Rule number 4 is about hydrogen. Okay? So, sabi dito, hydrogen, if it is bonded with non-metals, ibig sabihin, it's positive 1. Okay? So, yun na yan. So as you can see here in water, H2O, hydrogen is bonded to oxygen. And we know oxygen is non-metal. So ibig sabihin, it is positive 1 in charge. Same thing as HCl. So we know H is bonded with Cl, which is non-metal. Ibig sabihin, it is positive 1 in charge. Sa Cl, okay, so group 7 yan. And again, it is not in the oxyanion form. So if it is not in the oxyanion form, therefore it is negative 1. Okay? Kasi hydrogen lang naman yung kapartner ni ACl eh. Hindi siya oxygen. Okay? Yun yung rule number 4. So, for rule number 5, ito yung may equation. Okay? So, rule number 5 states that the charge of your molecule is the sum of the individual oxidation number of your elements in the formula. Okay? So that's why if we have this formula AB, wherein ito dalawang elements raised to the charge, okay? Sabi diyan, the charge is the sum of the oxidation number of your elements times kung ilan sila. Okay? So oxidation number of A times ilan siya, oxidation number of B times ilan siya. Okay? So let's have this one example here. So we have PH3. So the charge of that molecule is equal to the oxidation number of phosphorus times kung ilan siya, and plus mo yan sa oxidation number of hydrogen times kung ilan siya. Okay? So, pag pinag-add mo daw itong dalawang oxidation numbers, yun na in charge ng molecule. So, just as I said earlier, pag wala siyang exponent, zero charge yan. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pag ito, in-add mo dito, equal dapat yan sa 0 kasi wala siyang exponent. Okay? So that's how will you tell if it has a charge na. If wala siyang exponent, wala siyang charge. Meaning 0 yung charge niya. So, ito ngayon yung problema. You cannot have two unknown oxidation numbers. Okay? Hindi pwede yung dalawa yung unknown mo. Why? Kasi, mahirap mag-solve. Okay, mahirap mag-solve ng equation kung dalawa missing variable mo. Okay? So that's why you have to refer to the previous rules. Which among the two elements yung sinabi kanina? Is it the phosphorus or is it the hydrogen? Ano kaya? It is the hydrogen. Kakasabi lang eh. Yan. Wala naman tayong sinabi about phosphorus, di ba? Walang sinabi. So, rule number 5, for this problem, yung hydrogen may sinabi siya sa rules, but for phosphorus, wala siyang sinabi. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, we know that hydrogen, since it is bonded with phosphorus, which is a non-metal, it should be positive 1. So, ngayon, the question is, what's the oxidation number of phosphorus then? Okay? So, to get the oxidation number of phosphorus, so we know that this is positive 1, tapos tatlo yan. This is unknown, so let it as X variable. Tapos isa yung phosphorus natin. Okay? So, 1 times 3, bakit 3? Kasi tatlo yung hydrogen. X times 1, bakit 1? Kasi isa yung phosphorus. So, that's 3. Okay? 1 times 3 is 3. X times 1 is X. So all you now have to do is to solve for X. Okay? So that can be simply done when you when you transpose your 3 to the other side, making it the opposite sign. Okay? So yung 3 magiging negative 3 when you transpose it to the other side, meaning that X is negative 3, which means the phosphorus in pH3 has a charge or oxidation number of negative 3. Okay? So, ganun lang na pag hindi mo alam yung oxidation ng isang number, ng isang element, you have to do this calculation. Okay? So, basic algebra lang naman siya. So, it's easy naman to do. Okay? So, let's have another example and then later we will have some exercises. Okay? So, for example, this one. What's the oxidation number of nitrogen in ammonium ion, NH4? Okay? So, as you can see, we now have a charge here, which is positive 1. So, we can write the formula. Charge equals the oxidation number of nitrogen times 1 plus the oxidation number of hydrogen times 4. Bakit 1? Kasi isa lang yung nitrogen. Bakit 4? Kasi apat yung hydrogen. Again, the charge is the exponent. So basically, change this to positive 1. Okay? So now you are left with two oxidation numbers. One for nitrogen and the other for hydrogen. Ito question. Among those two oxidation numbers, sino ang may sinabi sa rules? Obviously, hydrogen uli. Okay? Rule number 4 yon. Kakasabi lang natin kanina. Okay? So, hydrogen may sinabi. Sabi sa kanya, for hydrogen, if it is bonded with nonmetal, it's positive 1. And we know nitrogen is nonmetal. Okay? Naantok pa ako guys, kaya weird yung boses ko. So, yan. Nitrogen is nonmetal. Okay, so ibig sabihin, hydrogen should be positive 1 in terms of the oxidation number. So, ito, wala siyang sinabi sa rule. So, kapag wala sinabi, let it be an unknown variable x. Okay? Kapag di mo alam, let it be an unknown variable x. Okay? And now you can calculate. Okay? So, yan. So, ito yan. Charge is positive 1. Hydrogen is positive 1 times 4. Apat kasi siya. And then you have your x for nitrogen and then 1 for the amount of hydrogen. Okay? So, this is just simple maths. So, 1. 4 times 1 is, of course, 4. X times 1 is, of course, x. Solve for x na. So, transpose mo yan to the other side. When you transpose it, its sign becomes negative. Okay. So we have on the other side 1 minus 4 equals x. What's 1 minus 4? Negative 3. Okay. So meaning that for ammonium ion, the oxidation number of nitrogen is negative 3, while for hydrogen it's positive 1. Okay. So basic lang maths. Okay. So ganun lang. So to further assess our understanding, so we have several exercises. Bago tayo pumunta sa mga exercises. Oxidation number 6, rule number 6. Sabi naman dito, for oxygen, it is always negative 2. Okay? Unless it is bonded with group 1 or group 2 elements. Okay? So anyway, ang gusto lang natin kunin dito is oxidation number of oxygen is negative 2 always, unless bonded with sodium group 1 and group 2 metals. Okay? With all those rules in mind, let's answer these questions. Okay? So, gagawin ko, okay? So, kayo magsagot ng items 2 and 4. Sagutan nyo on your own. Use the chat box to give your answers. Okay? So, chat nyo na lang. Calcium, what's the oxidation number? Oxygen, what's the oxidation number? Okay? Okay, so ganun gawin niya. So, in the chat box, you type in your answer for 2 and 4, while for the rest of the items here, ako yung magsasagot. Okay? So, ayun. So, sagutan ko yung 1, 3, 5, kayo sa 2 and 4. Okay? So, I want you to message me your answers for items 2 and 4. Okay? So, while answering 2 and 4, ako naman sa 1, 3, 5. Okay? So, I will try ammonia. Okay, so ammonia NH3. So, wala siyang charge. Okay, so ibig sabihin, wala siyang charge. 0 yan. So, again, just as said in rule number 5, the charge is equal to the oxidation number of nitrogen times ilan siya? Isa lang. Plus the oxidation number of hydrogen times kung ilan siya, which is 3. Okay. Now, of the two oxidation numbers, sino yung may sinabi sa rules? Obviously, it's hydrogen. Hydrogen, if it is bonded with non-metal, positive 1. Nitrogen is non-metal. Okay? And meaning, X ito. And this charge will be 0. Okay? Kasi wala siyang exponent dun eh. So with that in mind, then sagot tayo. So this is 0. X times 1 is X. 3 times 1 is 3, positive. Transpose it to the other side. So X equals to negative 3. So meaning, the oxidation number of nitrogen is negative 3. The oxidation number of hydrogen is positive 1. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple. Just use rule number 5 in solving for the oxidation number if it is paired with other elements. Naantok ako guys, pasensya. Next one, we have Cr2O7. Okay, so sagot kayo ng 2 and 4 Ako tuloy-tuloy lang ako sa 1, 3, 5. Okay? So, pag nasagutan nyo na yung 2 and 4, message nyo sa chat box. So, I will answer now the third item, which is Cr2O7. And as you can see, we have an exponent here, negative 2, meaning yun yung charge. Okay? So, the equation is charge equals the oxidation number of chromium times how many chromium do we have here? Dalawa. So, times 2 yan. For O oxygen, ilan yan? 7 times 7. Okay? So, we know the charge is negative 2. Ito yan. Okay? So, of the two oxidation numbers, sino yung may sinabi sa rules? May sinabi ba about chromium? Wala. May sinabi ba about oxygen? Meron. Sabi, ang oxygen, always negative 2 yan. Okay? Unless it is paired with group 1 or group 2 metal. We know that chromium is not group 1 nor group 2 metal. So, ibig sabihin, oxygen is negative 2 dito. Okay? So, this is negative 2 in charge. And chromium is the unknown, X. So, yan. With those info, let's write an equation. So, this is negative 2 equals X times 2, 2X. Negative 2 times 7, negative 14. Transpose this to the other side. So, it will become positive 14 minus 2 equals 2X. 14 minus 2, 12. Equals 2x. So, to solve for x, just divide both sides by 2. So, meaning x is equals to positive 6. So, meaning chromium here is positive 6 in charge, while oxygen is negative 2 in charge. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple. Basic algebra lang. Okay? Ibig sabihin yan, dapat kaya niya nasagutan din yung 4. Okay? So, sige. Last item. Okay? So, nag-pause ako para kung gusto nyo mag-screenshot, sige lang. Pero anyway, I will upload this agad sa YouTube. Okay? So, yan. Okay? So, let's try number 5, PTCl6 minus. O kung may sagot na kayo sa 2 and 4, paki-chat na. Okay? Para ma-check natin agad. Okay. So, number 5, PTCl6 minus. Okay. So, as you can see, PTCl6 minus, may charge siya, -1. So, the charge is the total of the oxidation number of platinum times isa, kasi isa siya, plus the oxidation number of chlorine times 6, kasi 6 siya. We know the charge is -1, and of the two oxidation numbers, sino yung may sinabi sa rules? Wala tayong nakita about platinum, so this should be X. How about Cl? Cl is group 7 element, diba? Okay? So, So kung group 7 element yan, it should be -1. Pero may cut siya kung sinabi, diba? If it is bonded with oxygen, then hindi siya -1. Is the chlorine bonded to oxygen? Hindi, diba? Okay, so ibig sabihin, -1 talaga siya. Okay? So, kailangan may logic ka muna, no? Bonded ba siya sa oxygen? So, kapag bonded siya sa oxygen, hindi siya -1. Pero, if it is not bonded with oxygen, ayun, -1 siya. Okay? And as you can see, Cl is bonded with platinum, not oxygen. So, ibig sabihin, Cl should be -1. Okay? So, with those info, let's write the equation. So, charge is -1. This is x times 1, x -1 times 6 minus 6. Okay? Transpose to the other side. That becomes positive. And then 6 minus 1 is 5. Positive 5. So meaning, for PTCl6 minus, platinum is positive 5, Cl is -1. Okay? So, ganun lang siya ka-easy. That's how you can tell the oxidation numbers. And again, this is important because yung next questions, yung next topic natin, which is the main topic, kailangan alam nyo na to. Kasi kung di nyo pa to alam, mahirapan na kayo sa susunod. Okay? So, what's your answer in 2 and 4? Sige. Please comment your answers in 2 and 4. Tignan natin kung tama. Okay? So, I will wait for your answers in 1 minute. Sige. So, answer for 2 and 4. Chat nyo na para makita natin kung tama. Do not be shy. Sige, huwag na kayo mahiya. Chat lang kayo dyan. Pag may question, itanong nyo na rin, okay? Since this will be our last synchronous session, okay? For the midterm period. Okay, so we have answers from Armando, Jana. Okay, so good. For the others, keep the answers coming. Okay, so Lexia. And okay naman kahit walang solution dyan. Okay lang. Basta alam mo yung oxidation number. Okay, so Christina also has an answer. So yeah, so you are correct, no? So dapat calcium, okay? Okay, sige. So I will no longer show the solution, okay? But I will give you the correct answer. So calcium here should be +2. Oxygen should be -2, okay? Because the charge of the molecule is 0, therefore, kung -2 si oxygen, ano yung add mo sa -2 para maging, 0 yung charge, edi +2. Okay? So, yun. So, calcium oxide is +2, -2, respectively, yung kanilang oxidation numbers. Okay? And then for permanganate, MnO4 minus, the answer is +7 for manganese, -2 for oxygen. Okay? So for this question, I will show you why. Okay? Bakit +7 si manganese? So the charge is negative 1. Okay, so let me just write it muna. Okay, so the charge is equals to the oxidation number of manganese times 1, oxidation number of oxygen times 4. As you can see, we have a negative 1 charge here. And of the two oxidation numbers, sino yung may sinabi? Oxygen. Okay? Sabi sa rule number 6, oxygen is negative 2, manganese is X. So, yan. So, from this, we can write the equation. Negative 1 equals X times 1, X. Negative 2 times 4, negative 8. Okay? Transpose it to the other side. So, that's 8 minus 1. So, that's positive 7 equals X. So, ganun ha. So, yeah. So, that's the answer. Hey, so you got it correctly. So, good work. Okay. I hope yung hindi nag-participate, nakuha rin naman ha. Okay. So, I know you might be shy. O baka yung iba natutulog, pero okay lang yan. So, yan. But I hope you got this correctly. Because we are not yet in the main topic. Ito yung main topic. Okay. So, nag-segue tayo, napansin nyo. So, umalis tayo sa oxidation reduction reaction. But we really need to do the segue so that alam natin kung sino yung oxidation, sino yung reduction, reaction. Okay? So segue tayo ha. Keep that in mind. Hindi pa tayo tapos. So, let's go back to the main topic. Okay? So, wala pa tayo sa main eh. So, as I said kanina, okay? So, sabi ko, when the oxidation number increases, okay? So, alam nyo na kung paano kunin yung oxidation number. The charge of the atom increases, meaning it undergoes oxidation reaction. While the when the atom loses when the atom lowers down its oxidation number, meaning it underwent a reduction reaction. Okay? So may iba pa tayong terms when it comes to redox reactions. Okay? So the substance that lost electron is called the oxidizing reducing agent, and the substance that gained electron is called the oxidizing agent. Okay? So baka malito kayo, 'di ba? Kapag sinabi kong lose electrons, oxidation 'yon. Pero pag may word na agent, ang tawag sa kanya reducing. Baka magtaka kayo, hala, baliktad sir. Opo, baliktad. Okay. Kapag nag-gain electron, anong reaction 'yon? Reduction reaction, 'di ba? Pero pag may term na agent, baliktad siya. Ano sa tingin niyo logic? Bakit kaya baliktad? Yung word na agent kasi yung dahilan, okay? So, segue muna ako ulit. Okay? So, ganito logic dyan. Bakit siya baliktad? Kunwari, ako, sales agent. Ikaw, bibili. Okay? So, bakit kaya sales agent tawag sa akin? Ako ba bumibili? Di ba hindi? Ako yung tumutulong sa iyo para makabili ka. So, ako yung sales agent. Okay? So, ako yung ahente para ikaw magka-sale. Okay? So, ano pa? Ano pa pwede natin gawin logic? Insurance agent ako. Ako ba yung kukuha ng insurance? Hindi. Di ba ikaw? Okay? So, ang tawag sa akin, insurance agent kasi ako yung agent na tutulong para ikaw magka-insurance. Okay? Nakikita niyo yung word na agent. Ang word na agent, it means na yung point of view papunta sa kabila, okay? Papunta sa iyo. So, insurance agent, ikaw kukuha ng insurance. Land agent, ikaw yung kukuha ng lupa, okay? Ako yung magbebenta. Ako yung tutulong sa iyo para makakuha ka ng ganun, okay? Car agent, car dealer, 'di ba? So, dealer lang yung term na ginagamit pero agent din yan, okay? So, car dealer, car agent. Hindi ako yung bibili ng sasakyan. Ikaw, tutulungan kita makabili ng sasakyan. So, ibig sabihin, that logic applies to this one as well. So, reducing agent siya, hindi dahil siya yung ma-reduce, kundi tutulungan niya yung kabilang reaction. Ano ba yung kabilang reaction? Hindi yung reduction reaction. So, that's why ganun yung tawag, no? Agent siya ng kabilang reaction. Kumbaga, tinutulungan niya yung kabilang reaction kasi How do you think oxidation reaction helps the other reaction? It gives the electron to that, okay? Kasi nalulose nga yung electron niya eh. So, saan mapupunta electrons? E di sa kanya. So, tinutulungan niya yung kabila. That's why it is called reducing agent. Kasi, ang tinutulungan niya ay yung reduction. Okay? So, again, yung point of view, pag may word na agent, is yung kabilang side. Okay? So, sales agent, hindi ako yung bibili, ikaw bibili. Okay? Reducing agent, hindi ako yung mere-reduce, ikaw. Okay? Tutulungan lang kita. Okay? So, that's why, when we have the word agent, nagiging baliktad yung terms. Okay? Because the point of view is for the other reaction, for the other side. Okay? So, ganun. So, oxidizing agent, hindi siya yung ma-oxidize. Siya yung mag-undergo ng reduction reaction. Pero ang tawag sa kanya, oxidizing agent, because it will help the other reaction. Tutulungan niya yung kabila, the oxidation reaction. Paano niya tutulungan yung kabila? Eh di yung nilulus na electron niya, kukunin niya. Okay? So, ganun. So, when you say the word agent, nagiging baliktad agad. Okay? Kasi, yung point of view, baliktad din. Okay? Basta may word na ahente or agent, it's helping the other reaction. Okay? So, para hindi tayo malito lalo, okay? We have this mnemonic, no? This is the complete form, Leora Geroa. Okay? So, Leora Geroa, this is somehow derived with oil rig, pero mas complete siya. Losing electron oxidation. So, ito yung oil kanina. Nirephrase lang natin. Ra, meaning reducing agent. So, again, kung sino yung nag-undergo ng oxidation, siya yung reducing agent. Okay? Yan. So, Leora. Okay? Para hindi na kayo magkalituhan. Okay? So, ganun na lang. Kung sino yung nag-undergo ng oxidation, siya yung reducing agent. Leora. Oxidation, reducing agent. Next one, Geroa. Gaining electron reduction. So, basically, ito yung RIG. Reduction is gaining electron. So, gaining electron reduction, OA, meaning oxidizing agent. So, kung sino yung nag-undergo ng reduction, siya yung oxidizing agent. Okay? So, para hindi na kayo malito sa agent-agent na yan, okay, Leora Geroa na lang. Whichever species underwent oxidation reaction, it is called the reducing agent. While kung sino naman yung nag-undergo ng reduction reaction, we call that the oxidizing agent. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, for this example here, let's apply the concept of Leora Geroa. And we will also apply the use of oxidation numbers. So, it is important that isang tingin lang, alam nyo na yung oxidation numbers. Okay? So, we have zinc plus H plus producing zinc 2 plus H2. So, zinc, the oxidation number of zinc is 0. This is monoatomic. Isang atom lang yan. And it doesn't have any charge. Ibig sabihin, elemental yan. Okay? Elemental yan pag ganyan. Okay? So, isang element, isang atom, walang charge. Ano yan? Elemental state yan. And again, sabi sa rule number 1, if you have an elemental state, 0 yung charge ng element na yan. H plus, okay, so H plus, monoatomic ion, rule number 2. So whatever the charge of the monoatomic ion is, that's the oxidation number. Zinc 2 plus, this is a monoatomic ion, and whatever the charge of the ion is the oxidation number itself. And hydrogen gas, okay, so hydrogen gas, so look, dalawa atoms pero iisang element, tas walang charge. So this is elemental form. So it follows rule number 1, elemental form yan. So again, ano uli kapag elemental form? Walang charge, iisa yung element. Okay? So this one should have an oxidation number of 0. Okay? So now, let us track the changes in the oxidation number. So yung zinc, What happened kay zinc? From 0, naging positive 2 siya. So, yung 0, naging positive 2. Okay? About hydrogen. From positive 1, naging 0. So, masasabi natin that for zinc, ano nangyari sa oxidation number? The oxidation number increased from 0 to positive 2. Tumaas yun. So, since it increased in terms of the oxidation number, that means zinc underwent oxidation reaction. Diba yan yung sinabi ko kanina? Pag tumaas yung oxidation number, oxidation reaction yung in-undergo niya. How about hydrogen? About hydrogen. So, nangyari sa hydrogen ion, H+, ano nangyari sa oxidation number niya? From positive 1, naging 0. Tumaas ba yun? Bumaba. Obviously, bumaba. Mas malaki yung 1 kaysa sa 0 eh. So, bumaba yung oxidation number. So, sabi ko kanina, when the oxidation number decreases, meaning it underwent a reduction reaction. Okay? So, zinc underwent oxidation reaction, making it positively charged, while hydronium ion, H+, underwent reduction reaction to produce hydrogen gas. Okay? And as you can see, partners sila, no? Pag may isang oxidation, matic yung kabila, dapat reduction. Okay? So, yan. So, ganun lang, no? Kung yung isa oxidation, tumaas yung kanyang oxidation number. Pag yung isa bumaba oxidation number niya, ibig sabihin doon, reduction reaction yan. Next question. What is the reducing agent? What is the oxidizing agent? Maraming ganito sa quiz. So, yeah, you really have to remember all of this. Okay, so sino yung reducing agent, sino yung oxidizing agent? Okay? So, kunwari, nasa quiz tayo. Tulungan ko kayo paano makasagot sa quiz. Kasi ako yung gumagawa ng quiz niyo eh. Kunwari, ganito sa quiz. What is the reducing agent? Kunwari, yun. Question number 1. What's the reducing agent? So, bale, gagawin mo. Out of the 5 choices, 20% yung chance na tama ka. So, kailangan, bawasan mo yung choices. Okay? Para lumaki yung percent na tama ka. So, ano yung mga dapat na sagot lang? Okay? So, if you are asked, which is the oxidizing agent or reducing agent, you just refer to the reactants. Okay? Wala kasi tayong tawag sa products. We don't have any terms for them. So, ibig sabihin, zinc 2 plus can be eliminated. H2 can also be eliminated. And obviously, the none of the above option can also be eliminated. Again, kasi wala tayong tawag sa products. Wala tayong tawag doon. Ang oxidizing and reducing agent, yun ay tawag sa reactants lang. Okay? Sige, so we are going to choose between this or that. So, 50% na yung chance na tama tayo. Okay? So, ganun gawin nyo sa quiz ha. Kasi maraming ganito dun eh. So, tanggalin nyo na agad sa options nyo yung products. Just focus on the 2 reactants. Okay? Kasi, one of them is the oxidizing agent. The other is the reducing agent. Okay? So, 50-50 na lang yan. So, kapag nandiyan ka na sa ganyang question, balikan mo yung Leora-Geroa. Okay? Ang sabi ng Leora-Geroa, kung sino nag-undergo ng oxidation, siya yung reducing agent. Sino ba sa dalawa yung nag-undergo ng oxidation reaction? Obviously, si zinc. Ayan o. Zinc underwent oxidation reaction. So, ano tawag sa kanya? Ra, reducing agent. So, your answer here is A, zinc solid. Okay? So, ganun lang. Next one, oxidizing agent. Sabi dito, Giroa, gaining electron reduction, oxidizing agent. Okay, oxidizing agent. Kung sino nag-undergo ng reduction, siya yung oxidizing agent. Sino ba? Edi yung H+. Edi you choose letter B, H+. So, ganun sa quiz ha. Ganun sa quiz, ganyan gagawin nyo. Okay. So, bale, tanggalin nyo yung mga products sa options nyo so that you will be left with 2 remaining options na lang. Okay, dalawa na lang matitira. Okay? So, dun sa dalawang yon, isa yung tama, isa mali. So, bale, you just refer to Leora Geroa. Kung sino man nag-undergo ng oxidation reaction, tawag sa kanya, Ra, reducing agent. Kung sino man nag-undergo ng reduction reaction, tawag sa kanya, oxidizing agent. Okay? So don't worry, we will have some more exercises later. Okay? But for now, I will proceed with the next slide na lang. Okay? Later, marami tayong examples, mga dalawa. Okay? So, yun. So, mamaya. So, punta muna tayo sa next slide. Balancing redox reaction. Just the basics. Okay? Kasi mahirap to, mahaba-haba to. Pero hindi to kasama sa quiz. Okay? Baka sa midterm kasama. Okay? Pero for now, hindi siya kasama sa quiz. Okay? So, balancing redox tayo. So, in balancing redox reaction, so it doesn't follow the normal balancing. Okay? So, normal balancing kasi you just balance the atoms, so, diba? But this time, in redox reaction, instead of just the atoms, you should also balance the charges. Binabalance yung charge dito. Okay? So, you just have to keep that in mind. No? So, in order for you to balance a redox reaction, okay, so gagawin mo, ito yung example natin kanina. Pagsamahin mo yung parehas na element, yung zinc to zinc 2+, pagsamahin mo, yung H+ to H2. Pagsamahin mo sila. So, you will have 2 equations. Ang tawag dito ay half equations. Okay? So, tawag dyan half equations. Bakit half equation? Kasi tigkalahati sila ng isang buong equation. Zinc to zinc 2+, H+ to H2. Okay? So, yun yung first step mo. Split your redox equation into 2. Okay? Zinc to zinc 2+, H+ to H2. Then now, you balance the atom. Okay? So, pag napaghiwalay mo na sila, doon ka lang magbabalance ng atom. So, zinc, isa dito. Yung zinc, the other side, isa lang. Dito, hydrogen, dalawa dito, isa doon. So, i-balance mo yung hydrogen. Okay? So, ganun yung steps dito. Pero don't worry, i-discuss natin ulit to sa Anachem. Sadyan dadaanan lang natin ngayon for the basics. Okay? But in Anachem, next sem, mas malala doon. Basta may idea na kayo dito. That's good. Okay? So, sige. So, again, first step parate, split the equation into 2. And then, pag na-split mo na siya into 2 half equations, you balance the atoms. Okay? Doon ka lang magbabalance ng atoms. So, zinc, isa dito, isa doon. Balance na yan. Hydrogen, dalawa dito. Isa doon. So, naglagay ako ng 2 na coefficient. Pagka-balance mo ng atoms, charge naman sunod. Okay? So, una, split. Pangalawa, balance atoms. Susunod, charges. Okay? So, pagka-balance mo ng atoms, proceed ka na sa next one, charges. Okay? So, punta muna tayo dito. How will you determine the charge? Okay, basically, that's the oxidation number lang. Okay? So, ano yung charge ng zinc sa reactant? 0. Kasi oxidation number niyan ay 0. For zinc 2+, ano charge niya? O, ano oxidation number niya? Positive 2. pantay ba yung charge? Hindi, no? Sa reactant, 0. Pagdating sa product side, positive 2. So, ano gagawin mo? Okay. In balancing charges, we add electron. Okay? Bakit electron? Electron is negatively charged. Okay? Negatively charged yan. So, ibig sabihin, if you want to make the charges equal, you need to add the electron to the side with the highest charge. Okay? Saan ba yung side na may highest charge? Itong right side. So, dito ako maglalagay ng electron. Purpose, para bumaba ito. Okay? Question, how many electrons? Just enough number of electrons so that they will be equal in terms of the charge. So, ilang electron ilalagay mo para yung positive 2 maging 0? Obviously, dalawa. Kasi, 2 electrons na yan, itong coefficient na yan, multiply yan sa charge eh. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So, yung positive 2 ng zinc, tas yung negative 2 from the electrons, this will be equal to 0. Now, you have the same charge. Okay? So, positive 2 from the zinc, negative 2 from the 2 electrons. So, positive 2 minus 2, 0. Same na siya with the other side. Okay? Let's try it dito kay H+. Again, ito basics lang to. Sa Anachem pa natin to uli gagawin. Okay? Next sem pa. But for now, gusto lang namin maisama to para may idea na kayo next sem. Okay? Para hindi kayo mag-start from the scratch ulit. Okay? Let's try with next one. H+, H2. Determine the charge. So, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, yung coefficient, pwede mo siya i-multiply sa charge. Okay? So, meaning, itong 2, pwede mo multiply sa positive 1. So, that means positive 2 dito sa left side. On the right side, so this is elemental state. So, wala siyang charge. 0. Pantay ba yung electrons? Pantay ba yung charge? Hindi. 0 sa right, 2 sa left. So, ano gagawin mo? So, you add electron to the side with the highest charge. How many? Just enough to make the charges equal. So, paano mo gagawing 0 yung 2? Hindi mag-minus 2 ka. Meaning, you add 2 electrons. So, negative 2 plus 2, 0 yan. Okay? So, 0 na sila both sides. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, since you have 0 charges na on both sides, okay, papansin mo, di ba sabi natin ito ay oxidation? Tapos ito ay reduction, di ba? Sabi natin sa kaninang slide. Ito. Oxidation yung zinc, reduction yung H+. Ito yung pinapakita na losing electron. So, yung zinc, nag-lose siya ng 2 electron, no? Meaning ng losing electron, yung electron nasa product side. Okay? Yun know, nasa product side, di ba? And kapag reduction, pag sinabing gaining electron, ibig sabihin, nasa reactant side yung electron. Ayan, no? Di ba? Okay. So, yun yung sinasabi natin kanina, oxidation is losing, reduction is gaining. So, kailangan kapag oxidation reaction, nasa product side yung electron kasi losing siya. Galing siya dito, lumabas siya. Ang reduction, gaining. So, pagsasamahin mo sila para magsama sila. Okay? Para maging isang, siya, molecule. Okay? So, yun yung reduction. Sasama yung electron sa atoms. Okay? Kaya nasa reactant side yung electron. Now, ano na gagawin mo? Pagkatapos mo na siya ma-split, mabalance yung atom, mabalance yung charges, ang susunod mong gagawin, combine mo na sila. Okay? So, you need to combine the half equations. Okay? Sulat ko na nandito sa left side. So, the zinc 2 plus, 2 electron, 2H plus, H2. Ang pagsamahin mo na sila. Okay? Ang pagsamahin, we have 2 electrons, 2H plus, zinc 2 plus, H2, 2 electrons. Okay? And just like what we did last time, spectator ion yung ating electron. So you can remove the spectator ion. Okay? So your final equation is this one. So siguro magtataka kayo, sir, nilagyan mo lang naman ng 2 yung H. Binalance ko lang yung H. Pero, in the future questions, hindi lang siya ganon. Hindi lang siya simple na maglalagay ka lang ng coefficient. Okay? Okay, so ganun lang. It seems na madali lang siya ngayon kasi madali lang to talaga, no? Itong example natin. But in the future questions sa analytical chem, may kita nyo na hindi lang siya basta-basta add ng coefficient. Okay? Marami kang i-add pa. Okay? So, next sem na lang yan. Okay? So, we will reserve that for next sem. But for now, these are the steps in balancing redox so that pag nag-naanakem na tayo next sem, alam nyo na yung steps. Tapos may i-add akong info about this. Step 2. May dadagdag ako dyang info. Kung curious kayo, you can watch Anakem videos in my YouTube naman. May mga Anakem na doon. Kung gusto niyo mag-study in advance. Okay? But for now, okay na to. Basta alam niyo yung steps, you're good to go. Okay? Ito yung common question. Sir, what if hindi pantay yung electron? Ito sa slides na to, nagkamali ako ng balance dito. At saka hindi ko na siya na-edit kasi last year ko pa pala to na hindi ko na napansin. Last year pa to nagawa eh. So dapat dalawa yung electrons doon. Hindi ko na balance yung hydrogen. Ayan. So ibig sabihin, there's no need for that. Ayan. Naduling lang ako niyan. Okay. Ayan. So, yan yung balance equation. So, naduling ako nung time na yan. Okay? So, tsaka hindi ko na na-edit kasi kalimutan ko last year pa pala to eh. Okay? So, anyway. So, sir, what if hindi balance yung electron? Kung hindi balance yung electron, for example, dito. Kanina 1 yan, di ba? Tapos dalawa doon. So, i-multiply mo yung equation by 2 sa baba para maging dalawa yung electron. Okay? O, paano, sir? Kunwari, 3 electrons dito, 2 electrons doon. Kunin mo LCM niya. Ano LCM ng 3 and 2? 6. Basically, yung taas na equation, multiply mo sa 2. Yung baba, multiply mo sa 3. Okay? So anyway, so Anakem pa naman yan. So, pero I just want you to have more ideas na para alam nyo na gagawin sa Anakem. So, may idea na kayo. Mahirap ang Anakem. Yes. Okay. But for now, okay na yung ginawa ko kanina. I just want to say this para may additional info. Okay? So, yun. In summary, so, yan. Nasagot na natin yan. Kung sino nag-undergo ng oxidation, siya yung reducing agent. Sino nag-undergo ng reduction, siya yung oxidizing agent. So, ito, you can answer this, no? I want you to identify na lang kung sino yung reducing reaction, reduction reaction, oxidation reaction, sino yung oxidizing agent, sino yung reducing agent. Okay? So, kayo na bahala dyan, but I will proceed with the next exercises. Okay? Diba may sinabi ako na may additional exercise akong ibibigay sa inyo. So, I will use a different PowerPoint. So, this one is from Analytical Chem. Okay? Ito, Anachem na talaga to. Nakita nyo na yung sagot. Di ko pala na-erase. Teka lang. Erase ko muna yung pinagsusulat ko. Okay. So, ayan. So, ito yung Anachem natin. Ganito din PowerPoint natin sa Anachem. Pero babaguhin ko lang yung design. Okay. So, yan. Oil rig. Alam nyo yan. Leora Geroa. Alam nyo rin yan. Okay. So, ito yung example natin kanina. Okay. So, yan. So, now, ganito. So, I will give you 2 questions. Ito yung balancing, no? Kaya sinabi ko next sem na lang kasi ang dami niyang ginagawa. Yan, no? 4 steps, diba? 4 steps yung sinabi ko kanina. Yan. Next sem na lang yan. So, ang goal lang natin now sa sem na to is to know which is the oxidation reaction, which is the reduction reaction, which is the oxidizing agent, which is the reducing agent. Okay? So, sagutan natin yung nasa taas. Itong nasa baba, hindi yan redox. Nilagay ko talaga yan para malito lang yan, students. This is not redox. So, ito, redox to. So, I want you to identify sino yung reduction reaction, sino yung oxidation reaction, sino yung reducing agent, sino yung oxidizing agent. Okay? So, from this equation here. So, ang gagawin mo, ano yung una nyong gagawin? Alamin yung oxidation numbers. Okay? So, yun yung first step nyo parate. Ha? Whenever you see equation, automatic ang utak nakaprogram to solve for the oxidation numbers. Okay? So, just apply all the rules I stated earlier para makuha mo yung kanilang oxidation numbers. Okay? So, aluminum. Aluminum is elemental. Group 1, 0. Basta yung metal naka-solid, 0 agad yan. Okay? Tapos isang atom lang yan. So, elemental yan pag ganun. Sino pa elemental? H2. Elemental yan. Ala, paano yan? Paano yan, sir? Yung kanina, dalawang elements lang meron eh. Ito, sir, paano yan? Tatlo yan. Ang gagawin mo dyan? Ganito gagawin niya. Pag nakakita kayo ng ganito, tapos hanapin mo daw yung mga oxidation number, huwag kayo mag-panic. Bakit? May technique. Okay? So, ano yung technique dyan? Let's get H2SO4 muna. Okay? So, anong technique dito? H2SO4. Kunin mo yung ions niya. Okay? Cation, anion. Okay? Kunin mo yung ions. Ibig sabihin, you do the reverse crisscross. Okay? So, ano yung cations mo dito at ano yung anion? Cation is H+. Anion is SO4, negative 2. Ibig sabihin, kailangan alam nyo na yung ions nyo, ha? Kasi that will be very helpful dito. So, cation is H+, anion is SO4, negative 2. Okay? So, ito, monoatomic ion yan, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, the charge of H here is positive 1. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, instead na tatlo yung hanapin mo, so, pag in-split mo to sila into cation and anion, mas madali maghanap ng oxidation number. So, this is rule number 1, di ba? Rule number 2, monoatomic ion. About this one, SO4 negative 2. You cannot split this further kasi ito ay isang buong ion na eh. So, you apply rule number 5 dito. Ano yung rule number 5? Charge equals oxidation number of sulfur times 1 plus oxidation number of oxygen times 4. Okay, so yun yung rule number 5. So, what's the charge? Negative 2. So, of the two oxidation numbers, sino yung may sinabi? Malamang yung oxygen. Alam na natin yan. Okay? So, sulfur, wala tayong nakitang sulfur kanina sa PowerPoint. Okay? So, meaning sulfur is X times 1. So, X lang yan. So, this one is negative 2. Okay? So, negative 2 times 4. Negative 8. Okay? O, lipat mo doon. So, 8 minus 2. X. Positive 6 equals, see, positive 6 equals X. So, meaning, sulfur is positive 6, oxygen is negative 2. So, that's how you find the oxidation numbers of your elements. Okay? Split mo sila into cation and anion. Then, after that, you apply rule numbers 2 and 5. Okay? So, 2 for the cation, rule number 5 for the anion. Okay? And just keep in mind all the rules na sinabi ko kanina. Okay? So, ganun. Gawa kayo kodigo. That's fine. Okay? Kasi alam ko hindi nyo agad itong mga kabisado. Pero kung kaya nyo kabisaduhin agad, that's better. Kasi mas mabilis kayo makakasagot ng quiz. Okay, next one, we have aluminum sulfate. So let me just copy Al2. So ano ulit gagawin kapag ganyan? Split them into cation and anion. Okay? Crisscross. So your cation is Al3 plus. Anion is SO4 negative 2. O, yun pa rin. So, di ba nakuha na natin yung oxidation number na sulfur and oxygen? So, just copy everything. Yung aluminum, rule number 2, monoatomic ion. So, that's positive 2. Okay? So, yun yung first step parate. Okay? So, the first step always is to determine the oxidation number of your elements. Okay? Oxidation number of your elements lang. And now, okay, so to answer sino yung reduction, sino yung oxidation, sino yung reducing agent, sino yung oxidizing agent, observe kung sinong elements yung nagbago yung charge. Sinong elements yung nagbago ng oxidation number. Sino yun? So, tingin tayo maigi. Mali ako dito. Positive 3 pala. Positive 3. Okay. Sino yung mga nagbago ng oxidation number? Si aluminum from 0 naging positive 3. Sino pa? So, sulfur, oxygen, hindi yan nagbago. 6 and negative 2 pa rin. Sino pa? Si hydrogen. So, from positive 1 naging 0. Okay? So, sabi natin, yung aluminum, tumaas ang oxidation number. Yung hydrogen, bumaba yung oxidation number. So, ibig sabihin, since yung aluminum, tumaas ang oxidation number niya, it underwent oxidation reaction. And yung hydrogen, bumaba yung oxidation number niya, so meaning it underwent reduction reaction. Okay? So, yan. Paano kunwari, sir, ganito? Sa quiz, ganito yung idea. Binibigyan ko na kayo ng idea kung ano yung tsura ng quiz. Okay. So, kunwari, ito sa quiz, no? Kunwari, sa quiz, ayan. Dalawa may hydrogen dyan. H2SO4, pati H2. Sabi ko, H lang eh. So, ano gagawin mo? So, again, keep in mind, no? Sabi ko sa kanina, yung products, wala tayong tawag sa kanila. Therefore, you should cross them out sa iyong options. Okay? I-cross out nyo na sila sa options nyo. So, ibig sabihin, aluminum sulfate, cross out mo yan. Hydrogen gas, cross out mo yan. So, sino yung may hydrogen dito sa dalawa? Pwede ito. So, this is the answer, kunwari. Okay? So, meaning, yung hydrogen dito should be represented as H2SO4. Okay? Isang buo dapat yan nire-represent. But you know that yung hydrogen lang mismo yung nagbago ng oxidation number. Pero kunwari, ganyan yun na sa quiz. Wala kayong makita, sir, wala yung hydrogen sa quiz. Di yung isang buo na, isama mo yung H2SO4. Isama mo yung sulfate. Okay? So, ganun lang gagawin niya, ha? So, hindi porket wala yung hydrogen, wala nang sagot, no? May sagot pa rin dyan. Ang nangyari lang, isasama mo yung other ions na nako-combine with hydrogen. Okay? So, ganun yung gagawin niya sa quiz next week. Okay? So, ano gagawin? Reduction reaction. That's H2SO4. And oxidation reaction, that's aluminum. Okay? Kunwari, tinanong na, sino reducing agent, sino oxidizing agent? Just keep in mind, kung sino, yung reduction, siya yung oxidizing agent. Sino yung oxidation, siya yung reducing agent. Leora, Geroa. Okay? Sino na-oxidize? Siya yung reducing agent. Okay? Ito yun. Sino na-reduce? Siya yung oxidizing agent. Ayan yan. Okay? Baliktad yung tawag pag may term na agent. Okay? So, ganyan yung expect nyo sa quiz, no? Walang solving, pero maghahanap kayo ng oxidation numbers. Okay? Kasama pa niyan yung precipitation reaction, acid-base reaction, combustion. Okay? So, yeah. Kaya nyo yan. Madali lang yan. Kaya nyo yan. Last one. Ito, madali lang to. So, cross out na natin. Super basic yan. At sagutan natin tong last item. Okay. So, kung anong ginawa natin dito, kung gusto niyo mag-screenshot, sige, screenshot kayo. So again, tandaan nyo na whenever you see a chemical equation, first thing na gagawin nyo is to identify the oxidation numbers. Okay, so just identify the oxidation numbers. Okay. Okay, so ganun gagawin din natin dito. Identify the oxidation numbers. Okay? Okay, ngayon gusto ko magsagot din kayo on your own kasi mabagal ako magsagot. Kung nauna kayo mag-solve sa akin, i-type nyo na yung oxidizing agent, reducing agent. Kahit yun na lang. Okay? So, sino sa mga to yung oxidizing agent? Sino yung mga reducing agent? Okay? So, kung mauna kayo magsagot sa akin, chat nyo na dyan sa chat box. Kasi ako magdadaldal pa ako eh. Sige. Sige, start na tayo. So, alam nyo yung mga rules kanina. Rule 1 to 6. So, let's apply them. Monoatomic ion yung chlorine and manganese 2+. So that means its oxidation number is -1 and +2. And now we are left with this thing here. Okay? And lucky for us, bakit? Kasi yung MnO4, nasolve na natin to kanina, di ba? Okay, nasolve na yan kanina eh. +7 to, -2 to, di ba? Tignan nyo yung mga sagot nyo kanina. +7, -2. Ibig sabihin, ang problema na lang natin is this one. HClO. Okay, so HClO. Dito, ano sabi ko? Pag tatlong element na yan, kung kaya split into ions, gawin. Ionic compound naman to, so pwede to split into ions, di ba? So, what are the ions we can form? Pwede tayo makagawa ng H+, ClO-. Ayun, monoatomic ion ulit. So, that's rule number 2. ClO. Yan ay rule number 5. Okay, so that's rule number 5. So, charge is equal to oxidation number of chlorine times 1, oxidation number of oxygen times 1. Ito na. Dito tayo magkakasabukan. Bakit? Kasi dalawa silang may sinabi sa rule. Oxygen is -2, chlorine group 7 yan, -1. Pero ano yung sinabi ko kanina? If your halogen is in the oxyanion form, it is not -1 by default. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung chlorine, bromine, iodine, basta may kapartner yan ng oxygen, hindi yan -1. Okay? So, yun yung gusto ko i-point out. Kasi, for example, we have this hypochlorite ion. Yeah. So, this is a hypochlorite ion. So, ibig sabihin, yung chlorine, hindi siya -1. Okay? Kasi, kasama niya oxygen eh. Ganun yan. Yun yung meaning ko dun sa rule kanina. Okay? When your chlorine is not bonded with oxygen, -1 yun. Pero kapag bonded siya with oxygen, hindi siya -1. Okay? So, meaning, X ito negative 2. Okay? So, ganun ha. Kapag yung halogen mo, kapartner niya si oxygen, X agad siya. Okay? Kung may mauna sa akin magsagot, mention chat nyo na yung sagot. Okay. So, charge of the molecule, negative 1. Oxidation number of chlorine. Okay, sabi ko nga, bonded yan with oxygen. So, X na yan. Oxidation number of oxygen. Negative 2 yan by default talaga. So, transpose. Positive 2 minus 1 X. So, 2 minus 1. Okay. So, nakita nyo yun. Positive 1 yung charge pala ng chlorine. Okay. So, chlorine is positive 1. Oxygen is negative 2. So, napaka-obvious that chlorine violated the rule kanina. Okay? So, ganun yung idea. If you have an oxy and ion, yung halogens mo, hindi siya negative 1. It is something else. No? So, you have to solve it. Okay? Pero yung oxygen, masunurin naman yan. So, negative 2 yan madalas. Okay? So, with all those oxidation numbers, I want you to tell me, okay naman, tell me kung sino yung oxidizing agent, sino yung reducing agent, sino yung nag-undergo ng oxide reaction, sino yung nag-undergo ng reduction reaction. Choices mo ulit. Imagine this as quiz, no? MnO4 negative, Cl minus, Mn2 plus, HClO. So, imagine nyo, quiz to. So, pili kayo. Is this A, B, C, D? Okay? So, ano yung mga sagot natin dyan? Kunwari, 4 points yan. Sige. So, I will give you time to answer this. Sige. So, I'll wait for your responses. Message lang kayo sa chat box. So, identify the oxidation reaction, reduction reaction, oxidizing agent, and reducing agent. Today is filing of candidacy pala ng mga tatakbo nitong election. And as you know, the registration for voters extended siya. So, you know what to do. If you are not yet registered, yun, pa-register na. Nasagot nyo. Ano yung OA-RA, oxide reaction, red reaction? Okay. I just use the concept of Leora-Geroa. Now, anyone, dali, para matapos na ang ating class. Okay, so wala pa rin sagot. Ano kaya? Ako na magsasagot. Wala kayong sagot eh. Sige, ganito. So, kung hindi pa sure, ayan, may sagot na tayo. Mn, red reaction, oxidizing agent. Ayan, nagsilabasa ng answers. Okay, so good na lumabas na yung answers natin. Okay, so tignan natin kung tama. No? Let me just erase everything. By the way, may practice quiz kayo sagutan nyo yun para mas ma-practice kayo. Okay? So, tignan nyo, yung manganese from 7 naging 2. Ano pa? Yung Cl from negative 1 naging positive 1. Yan lang naman yung mga nagbago di ba? Oxygen, negative 2 pa rin. Siguro nagtataka kayo, no? Sir, saan galing yung hydrogen? Yun na yung sinasabi ko na balancing para sa next sem. Next sem nyo na problemahin yan. Okay? So, basta hindi balance yan talaga. Okay? Baka magtaka kayo, saan galing yung hydrogen? Ayun, lumitaw lang. Opo. Next sem na natin yan sagutin kung bakit may ganyan. Anyway, so makikita nyo that yung manganese natin from 7 naging 2. So, bumaba. Si chlorine natin, from negative 1, naging positive 1. So, tumaas. So, again, pag bumaba ang oxidation number, that's reduction, reaction. And pag tumaas ang oxidation number, that's oxidation, reaction. So, checking your answers, yeah, you are all correct. Ayan, so very good, no? Yan, so good. Ayan, magaling. So, Cl underwent oxidation reaction. So, ang sagot natin dyan, of the choices, B yan, okay? So, ang sagot natin, oxidation reaction, this is B, Cl minus. And, of course, Leora Geroa, kung sino nag-undergo ng oxidation reaction, siya yung reducing agent. So, our answer here should also be letter B, okay? Cl minus. So, good. Next one, Mn. Bumaba oxidation number, so siya yung reduction reaction, so therefore it should be the oxidizing agent. Kaso dalawa yung Mn mo, MnO4, Mn2+. Ano yung pipiliin mo dyan? Ito yung nasa reactant. Again, ito tip ko na to sa quiz nyo para may sagot kayo. Yung products, wala tayong tawag sa kanila, so you just simply need to remove them from your options. Yung reactant lang titignan mo. Okay? So, obviously, that's A. Yun yung may Mn. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, this should be A, MnO4, A, MnO4. Yan. You're done. May 4 points ka na sa quiz. Okay? So, yan. So, ganun lang. Okay? So, mukha lang siya mahirap at the beginning. Kasi yes, mahirap talaga siya. Pero, pag nakabisado mo na yung oxidation number rules, tas hindi ka na nalito sa Leora Geroa, madali na lang, okay? So, ganun na lang, okay? So, for you to practice more, meron akong pinost dito sa Canvas, okay? May pinost ako sa Canvas, which is the practice quiz for chemical reactions. Non-graded to, so okay lang magkamali. So, ito yung mga types of chemical reaction. Pwede nyo i-google yan. Although walang ganito sa quiz, no? Pero it will be better if alam nyo yung mga chemical reactions behind this daily experience natin. Okay? And then, question number 2, identify the oxidation numbers daw. Alam nyo na yan. Elemental. So, this should be ito, copper sulfate. Criss-cross yung charges. You can get the ions charge. By the way, kunwari, positive 5 sagot nyo dito. Huwag nyo sulat yung 5 lang. It should be written as positive 5. Okay, and then kung negative yung nakuha mo, so negative 9. Kapag sinagot mo kasi dyan, 5 and 9 lang, imamali yan ni Canvas. Okay? So, ganun. Kapag positive, sama mo yung positive sign. Pag negative, sama mo yung negative sign. Then, ayan. From the same concept, given your oxidation numbers, identify oxidizing agent, reducing agent, oxidized species, and reduced species. So, ito, you have 5 options here. Sino yung pipiliin mo? Dalawa lang. either of the two reactants. It's either between copper sulfate and sulfuric acid. The rest ay wala lang. Okay? So, same thing as this one. Ayan. Identify the oxidation numbers. Then, after you identify the oxidation numbers, identify sino yung oxidized species, reduced species, oxidizing agent, reducing agent. Pag sinabi na species, basically, what I'm pertaining to is the oxidation reaction, reduction reaction. Okay? So, yun lang yun. Then, kapag sinubmit quiz mo yan, lalabas yung result. Okay? So, I hope that this will be helpful for you sa quiz nyo. And the quiz will be available by next week. Okay? So, good luck. Now, so, that marks the end of our midterm period. Okay? So, again, just a reminder that yung ating chapter 5 will be done asynchronously. So, chapter 5, asynchronous yan. So, click nyo na lang yung asynchronous discussion on chapter 5 and you can watch this. And, lucky for us, 1 hour lang tinagal neto. Okay. Hindi ko na masyado dinaldalan. Okay. So, yun. So, 1 hour lang to and, ibig sabihin, pwede nyo sa panoorin after the class. Okay. May practice quiz din dito and meron siyang quiz mismo. So, next week ko na lang i-publish. Okay. Hindi ko pa tapos eh. So, yan. So, that will be all for the midterm period. And again, good luck with your upcoming midterm examination. So, if you have specific questions about the lessons we covered, chat na lang kayo sa akin. Okay? So again, I highly suggest you to take the practice quiz for the remainder of the time. And then, good luck sa upcoming exams. Okay? So, do not forget yung mga tips na sinabi ko kasi magagamit nyo yan sa quizzes. Okay? So, thank you and I'll see you again after the midterm consultation week. So, matagal-tagal pa. So, wala tayong klase this time. Kayo na bahala mag-review niyan. Panoorin nyo ng chapter 5. Ito ay midterm exam. Ito ay midterm consultation. Dito na lang ulit tayo magkikita. October 29, ang layo pa. Okay? So, thank you and I'll see you again next time. Okay? So, bye-bye. Ingat parate. So, pag may question, just message me, ha? Sige, bye-bye.
Salamat po.
Thank you po, sir.
Salamat po, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you.